All right, so the first exercise that we're gonna start with today, Mike, is a side plank bridge. And if you recall, the intention behind doing this exercise is to build our structural support, and most of that has to do with our transverse abdominis. Okay, so that's a big word, but more importantly, those are the muscles that are right here that are gonna help me support my backpack and my pack when I'm out hiking. Also, it's gonna give me the ability to have my pack on one shoulder as well as my rifle on another shoulder. So let's go ahead and get into the exercise. What we wanna do is we wanna basically have a pad or something, a yoga pad down on the ground. I'm gonna have both legs perfectly straight with both legs stacked on top of each other. Notice that my elbow is directly beneath my shoulder, my hand is down on the ground, and I can use this hand as a base here if I need the help, or I can use my hand on my hip. We'll show you both, Mike. So to begin with, I'm gonna draw my core in so that I activate these muscles, especially the muscles on the side, and I'm going to bridge and plank, holding my body in this position. We're gonna hold these for 30 seconds per side, and I can always use this hand here as an accessory if I need to, as I'm getting into this exercise. But ultimately, we wanna hold just like this. And you'll notice, Mike, that I'm already starting to shake. The muscles around my core are engaging and things are working. So after a 30-second hold, boom, I break. I'm gonna switch, do the exact same thing on the opposing side. Hands on hip, bridge, plank, and hold 30 seconds. Once that's complete, Mike, we're gonna do 4 sets total of this with 45 seconds rest periods in between both sides. So I'll do my right side, then I'll do my left side. I'll take a 45-second break, and then I'll repeat. All right, Mr. Russell, so the next exercise that we're gonna be doing today is a rear elevated split squat, rear foot elevated split squat, okay? The reason that we're gonna use this exercise for you, especially for hunters that are out in the field, is because how many times are we out walking down a hill or walking up a hill and we're trying to deaccelerate or slow ourselves down as we're taking a step down onto the rocks? This exercise alone is gonna help strengthen and support all of the muscles, both in my obliques, my core, my hips, and my legs. And it's gonna help us develop strength and stability and prevent injury. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use a 10-inch box, okay? We could use a step, we could use a stair, anything in the garage. It could be a rock for all we care, Mike. It's super simple. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with both feet together. Okay, I'm gonna count that first step. My first foot is first step, second step, third step. So we go 3 steps out, then I reach back with a toe touch. I'm gonna go into a prayer position. I'm gonna activate my core so that my core is in, and I'm gonna drop down and I'm gonna control my descent. So I'm coming down slow, stable, and controlled. I'm gonna pause, core tight, actively drive through, squeeze, lock that knee, engage that hip. So slow and controlled, good depth, exchange, drive through. I'm gonna go 6 to 8 reps on each leg, and then I'm gonna alternate. I'll match that foot, take my toe touch back, core is in tight, drop down slow, stable, and controlled, and drive through, slow, stable, and controlled, and drive through. Notice, Mike, that I'm controlling the descent as I'm coming down. 6 to 8 reps on each leg with a 45-second rest period, 4 sets total. So Mike, the next exercise that we're gonna work on is a rear delt fly. And the reason that we chose this intentionally for your workout is to help you build the structural muscles on the back of the shoulders, the upper back. Now, a lot of us, a lot of listeners, we work in a situation where we're constantly seated or driving, or for you, for instance, you're at a computer and a mic. And what that does is it pulls your shoulders forward. Pulling my shoulders forward puts a lot of stress on my back and head. So with a pack, hiking, backpack, rifle, bow, whatever it might be, even if I'm fishing and I'm on a boat, I need my shoulders back. So this exercise, I'm gonna start with both feet together, good posture. I've got 5-pound dumbbells. These don't need to be heavy, they need to be light, something that we can control. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pull them up in front of us and we're gonna expose them back and pull, just like this, stretching and using those muscles on the rear delt. Opening up. Notice, Mike, that I'm never dropping my arms. These have to stay up the entire time. So as I rotate and show you from behind, I squeeze, tighten, and flex, open back up, squeeze, tighten, and flex, and then open back up. And you can notice just during that exercise, my shoulders are already starting to pull back. So we're gonna go 10 to 12 reps, okay, per set, and we're gonna go 4 sets total with a 45-second rest period. All right, Mike, the next exercise is a single arm dumbbell row, okay? And we've got you programmed to use a stability ball. Now, I do want to say this as a caveat. If the stability ball is something you don't have access to, or you are a beginner, you could always use a bench, something that's solid, in place of a stability ball. The reason we want to use a stability ball is because it's unstable, which is exactly what hunting is. When you're out in the field, things are never going to be super solid like a bench would be. So, Mike, what we're going to do is we're going to put one hand right on top of this stability ball. I'm going to get shoulder width apart with my body, and I notice that I've got a flat spine, so I've got my core engaged. We're going to grab this heavier dumbbell. We're going to use a 25, 30, 35, 40. I'm going to brace all of my weight through my left arm, which is on my stability ball. And I'm gonna slowly pull and row, taking my elbow to my waist. Notice that I'm twisting my head as I row and getting a big, big rotation all the way through my back muscles and squeeze. Of course, once I'm completed with my 12 reps, I rotate, I go to the other side, and I twist and turn, and you'll notice this ball and my right arm is moving and stabilizing as I go through this. We're gonna do 12 reps on each arm, okay? We're gonna do 4 sets total with 60 seconds rest period. And why are we doing this? Think about how many times when I pull my bow back, I'm strengthening those muscles. So I'm pulling and developing that strength. Also, I'm developing my strength for my shot offhand. Okay, Mike, the next exercise that we have for you is a plank on a stability ball. Now, if you remember from level 1, we did body planks down on the floor. Well, for level 2, we're starting to advance you, and we're gonna use this stability ball to then set up our body plank position. So, just like last time, I'm gonna take my knuckles, put them together. I'm gonna make sure intentionally that my elbow is directly beneath my shoulder. I've got this one toe back. I'm gonna load my weight through here. Toe goes back, knees are straight, back is flat, actively engaged. Notice the shakiness that's happening, Mike. That's my central nervous system. And that's my body waking up to what's happening here. We're gonna hold these for 30 seconds per set, and we're gonna do 4 sets total. And your goal is to keep your core drawn in super, super tight, right? So belly button sucked in tight to your spine so that that back stays flat. Now, just like we discussed in level 1, we are trying to build your core strength, protecting your low back, so that if you're hiking out an animal, a kill, if you're going on a backpacking trip or something like that, and you're carrying 30, 40, 50 pounds of pack weight on your shoulders, we don't get injured, we don't get back fatigue, and most importantly, we strengthen our core. All right, Mr. Russell, so the next exercise is the prone cobra. And we kind of laughed about this when we were in the studio together, but it truly is creating like that cobra head of the snake. And the intention behind this exercise really, Mike, is to help develop all of those muscles on the back, and more importantly, create function for your back, your shoulders, and your neck. And that's something that you addressed when we were in the studio together, is how you felt different sides of your body coming into the word was alignment. So with the prone cobra, we use a stability ball. I have a sandbag back here behind me, something to brace my feet against. What I'm going to do is very simply, I'm gonna put my belly button right in the middle of the top of this ball. So center access to the ball, toes are close together. My knees are straight, Mike, and from here I'm going to engage my core. Just engaging my core means flexing my belly button into my spine. You see my spine get straight. There's 3 movements here, Mike, that are going to occur. The first one, open back up. 2, rotate my palms, squeeze to my glutes. 3, rinse and repeat. 1, 2, squeeze. 3, one more round, up. 1, 2, squeeze, and 3. Mike, I just did 3 reps of that and I can already feel loose, more flexible, and like my shoulders are starting to pull back. So this is gonna be a great exercise for anybody that's out in the field. We're gonna go 4 sets total, 12 repetitions per time, 45-second rest periods, and we're only using 5-pound dumbbells. All right, Mike, we're on our last exercise, and this is a walking lunge with a loaded sandbag on my shoulder. So we're gonna go 4 sets total, and I'm gonna go right shoulder with 1 set, left shoulder, left shoulder. You can see that. It's gonna be 20 feet walking distance, and we're gonna take a 60-second rest period between each one. Mike, what this is gonna look like is I'm gonna take this sandbag, and I could use a dumbbell if I don't have a sandbag, and simply put that on my shoulder, and we're using 20 pounds. Both feet together, I'm gonna take my step with my other hand here, and I'm gonna step, drop down into my lunge, toe tap, drop down into my lunge, toe tap, drop down into my lunge, toe tap. And that whole time, Mike, I'm thinking about my core. I'm awake and present to my core so that I'm building the strength. Why do I want to do this? How many times have we been in the field where we have a log, a stone, we're getting ready to pack out a quarter of a deer or an elk or a javelina, and I've got this on my shoulder, and all of a sudden I've got pain here, or I've got pain here. So not only is this developing core strength and also keeping me balanced and getting me stronger, but it's also working my legs and my glutes so that I'm strong all the way around. This is one of the best exercises for you, Mike, and that's why I left it for last. All right, Mike, so the last piece to your puzzle of fitness hunting exercise is your HIIT cardio workout, okay? Now, like we discussed when we were in the studio together, we're gonna use rowing for you. Now, for our listeners, they can use running, treadmill, step mill, they can run stairs, they can go to a football field or a track. And what this is gonna look like is it's gonna look like 5 rounds, okay, with 30 seconds on and 90 seconds off. What this means is for 30 seconds, I'm gonna just go all out, 100%, everything that I possibly have on my rower. And I'm literally gonna just wear myself out for 30 seconds. We call it red line, meaning I wanna get my heart rate up as high as possible. Once I'm done with that 30-second, I'm gonna drop down from 100% to 50 to 60%. So I have not stopped. I am still rowing, I'm still working, and I'm still keeping my heart rate somewhat elevated, but I'm basically recovering. That's the most important part. So 30 seconds on, 90 seconds off, and we're gonna do that 5 times. Now, Mike, I want you to be awake to this. I want you to do a 2.5-minute warm-up before you start this, and I want you to do a 2.5-minute cool down to bring that heart rate back down, okay? And Mike, you're gonna be doing this 3 days a week. You can do this on your exercise days, or you can choose to do this on your non-exercise days. But I just ask and require that you do this 3 days a week. So this is your HIIT cardio program.